Hello YouTube, welcome to the Code Focus channel. Today we're gonna build this Navbar with React, TypeScript, and Material UI. So first I'll give a demo. This is what it looks like on mobile. You can open up the menu here and it slides over from the left, and you can click this to close it. And when you click a link, it'll close on its own and scroll to that section. And then on desktop, this is what it looks like, same functionality. Click on these links and it'll scroll to the section. And if you click on the logo, it'll scroll back to the top of the page. So yeah, let's get into it. So like I said, we're gonna use Material UI. And if you don't know what that is, it is a component library. So it gives you a bunch of components right out of the box. So that's going to make it so we can code this quicker. And we're going to use React. That is a JavaScript framework. I'm sure you're already familiar. And this is actually the first time I'll be using TypeScript with React in one of my videos. You don't have to use TypeScript. You can make this navbar without it. But I highly recommend TypeScript. It's super, super handy. All right, so let's go to our desktop and create a new folder. You can create this folder anywhere you want on your machine. I'm going to call it MUI React Navbar. All right, then you're going to right click this and open with code. Or you can drag and drop it into VS Code. And if you don't have VS Code, go ahead and download it. Just go to the VS Code website and install it on your machine. So yeah, let's go ahead and make this go over here. So how I did that, if you're on Windows, you can hold down the Windows key along with the left arrow and it'll snap the application to the left. And then we'll open up our browser to the right, like so. Bring that over. Oh, there we go. Okay, so now we're going to open the terminal in VS Code by holding down Control tilde. And tilde, if you don't know, it's to the left of your number 1 on your keyboard. So yeah, Control tilde will open this integrated terminal in VS Code. I'm gonna make this bigger so you guys can see it on YouTube. So first we're gonna need to install React into this project, a directory. So we're gonna use create React app for this. So npx create React app, and my app will be the title of the directory the React app gets created into. But we can put a period here if we want to install it into the current directory, and then template TypeScript to use TypeScript with React. Okay, so let's copy this, throw it in here, and let that go to work. If your terminal doesn't look like this, that's okay. I'm using Bash right now, but yours might look like this, the command prompt or the PowerShell. Every command I type in today will work with any of them, I hope. Oh man, I forgot to put a period instead of the name here. That's all right. All right, I'm gonna let this finish up and I'll be right back. Once it's done, you should see a message saying happy hacking. So now we can start with our dependencies we'll need. So instead of running commands in the terminal to install them, I'm going to copy and paste them into the package.json and then run npm install. Then I'll have these for you in the description so you can do the same. So paste that into dependencies, and then we're gonna make another property down here called dev dependencies. And we'll copy and paste these guys into here. Save that and run npm install. And then I'm also going to go to the TS config. Well, these are installing. And I'm going to copy and paste into here. Again, I'll leave this in the description. And then we're also going to get an ESLint file in here. So I'm going to paste it. This will be in the description. And then we're going to also do a editor config. Okay. So now that that's all done, we can go to our source. Let's see, everything's installed good. Let's go to our source and delete this. Actually, before you delete it, go into index.tsx and copy this. Right. And throw it into, or actually not throw it into anything. Just delete the source folder from the root. Make another one. And make a new file in here called index.ts. Paste that in. I think it's actually tsx. Yeah. Remove app and report web vitals. Oh, I need to put a prettier file in here as well. And there we go. Okay, so make a main.tsx file, create a component called main. All right, and for now we'll return a div saying hello. I'll take this and throw it right here, import that into the index. Okay, and now we can start this React app by running npm start. You should get this error here because we forgot to remove the CSS import. So it's working. We can see our hello text. We'll create some folders. First, create components. Do sections. Services. Types. And assets. All right, cool. So in our components folder, we're going to create a folder called main layout. And then within the main layout folder, we'll create a main layout file. Export const main layout is equal to so for now we'll just return a material UI box from here. Okay, we need to rename this to tsx a box. Good, and we'll give this a height of 100 VH so it fills up the entirety of our screen horizontally. And for now we'll do just main layout. And then we're going to create a type for this main layout called main layout props. So the way I create my type names is just the component name and then props. So we'll take this, throw it right here, and in here we'll say children is equal to react.react node. And then we can access by destructuring props here. There it is. And we'll throw this children prop in our box. Sweet. Now let's go back to the main. Wrap this with our main layout. There we go. And now we should see hello here still. Perfect. And what we're gonna do is go to our types folder and create another folder in here called section ID, and create a file called section ID.ts, and we're gonna export in constant enum called section ID enum. And we'll have 5 of these. And I'm going to copy and paste this in here. You can just write all this down. Okay, so we got intro, about, skills, projects, contact. These will represent each of the sections. So let's create an index.ts in our types directory, and we'll export all from /section ID and section ID. Perfect. You know what, we should have done that with components as well. So let's do index.ts here and export all as /main layout. So it's good practice to do this. Have an index.ts in every main directory within your source. Good for organization. And the way I have TypeScript set up, we can go ahead and just import the components folder instead of that whole path to the main layout, like so. Create an array representing our sections, okay, and we'll import our section ID enum from the types directory for each section ID in here, and then we'll assign a component to each of these. But for if you were making an actual app out of this, these would all be different, but for now we're just going to have one component for each of these. So yeah, let's go to sections and create this. We'll call it intro and intro.section.tsx, and export const intro section. So we'll make this a React component. And again, I'm going to copy and paste this. I'm not going to waste your time by writing all this out. Basically, it's a box from Material UI with some typography from Material UI. Perfect. And we will take this intro section and export it from the sections directory by doing export all from /intro/intro section. Great. And in our main, we can import this from the sections directory. Cool. So now we're going to take this sections array and map it. So we'll say sections.map. And from here, we'll return the component. So we'll destructure and return the component here. Awesome. So you can see we have all our sections here. Now we're going to make a section container within our components directory. So we'll call this section container. And again, I'm going to copy this, paste it, get rid of that. All right, so we're giving each of these a min height of 100 VH. Let's get rid of this use element hook. Okay, so now we're going to use this section container to wrap each of our sections, giving them a min height of 100 VH so that we can scroll and act as if there's actually content for each section. We'll go back to our main and wrap this. Oh, we forgot to export it from our index. Oh, we got to pass in our props. So destructure the section ID from these objects, and we'll need to pass it in as a prop. along with giving this a key, because when you map something in a React component or React JSX, you need to give each item a key, and it has to be unique. And our section ID is unique. So there we go. Awesome. So each of these have a VH of 100. Cool. So now we'll get into the app bar finally, right? You can close all of these files and collapse these folders, and we'll open our main layout component and get to work. So for now, get rid of this and import app bar from Material UI, throw it here, and then within app bar, we'll do a toolbar and a box. Actually, before I do the box, I'll show you what this looks like. Oh, that's weird. Just importing these in separate lines. Just fix that up if that happened for you. So this is what it looks like. Let's throw our children back in. Throw another box right here. Put our children right here. Cool. So as you can see, the app bar is actually overlapping our content here, and that's because this is a fixed app bar. That means it goes over any of the content on the page. So what we'll do is throw a toolbar component above our children, like so. So that this toolbar offsets our content with the same height as this app bar. Okay, so now in our app bar, we're gonna make a box and assign it a flex grow of 1. Okay. And we'll throw an anchor link right here. Oh, you know what? We forgot to import. Oh, I forgot to tell you about this actually. React anchor link smooth scroll. This is a npm package that makes smooth scrolling easier to implement in React. So we'll use this to wrap our logo. So for now, we'll do another box with a typography saying code focus. We can go to our assets, and you can use any image you want, but for me, I'm going to use the code focus logo like this. So import it into assets, or include it in assets, and make an index.ts in here so we can export it from here. So export, or no, import it. Import logo from /logo.png. Then we'll export it. So export const logo. We'll call it logo image and assign it to logo. So you'll get these red squigglies here. The way to fix this is by creating a global TypeScript file so we can declare something. I'm not too sure what this is. Just found out about it today. Global.d.ts, and we will paste this. So declare module all.png, and if it's a JPEG, do all.jpg. Cool. So that red squiggly went away. Perfect. I don't know why this keeps happening. It keeps importing on different lines. I might have to reload the window or something. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put an image element here. Give it a width of 54 pixels, height of 54 pixels, and a source will be logo image from our assets. And give it an alt. Let's see, what is the problem? All right, so we're having some issues here. This happens every time I start a new project. There's always some stupid thing with like TypeScript that I forget to do. In our root directory, we have to create a .vscode file. .vscode, make a extensions.json file. If this would paste, that'd be great. There we go. Again, I'll have this in the description for you guys. And a settings.json. So this makes it so prettier and ESLint work well together. There we go. And if that didn't work for you, you might have to restart VS Code, close out, and open it again, and it should be good. Back to business. We are going to apply some styles to this typography. So we'll make this a variant of H5 and give it a width of fit content. Like so. Oh, gotta restart this because I closed out of VS Code to try to fix this issue. Give this a sec, hold on. All right, there we go. And now give this box a display of flex. So our logo and image are in line. And we'll give it an align items of center to center the content vertically. Good, and a gap of 0.5. And what gap does you can only use it on Flexbox. It will create a little gap in between there based on what value you give it. So since our baseline gap is 8 pixels, this will be 4 pixels since we gave it a gap of 0.5. All right, let's give our app bar a position of fixed and a background black. By the way, this SX, it's basically CSS inline. So it's the same as like writing styles inline like this, except it's for Material UI. So within our main layout folder, we're gonna make another folder called navigation and a navigation file. And export const navigation. Return a div saying nav. All right, so we can import this and throw it, I think within this box, within the toolbar under the box. There we go. So we should see nav here. Awesome. And the reason it is not, or the reason it is over here to the side is because we gave this box a flex scroll of 1, meaning it takes up all the space until there's other content taking up space. So if we remove this, we'd see the nav would be positioned right here. There we go. Okay, so now we'll go into our navigation component and do some things. First, we will create our navigation items. So you want to create an array above the component called navigation items. And again, we're going to use our section ID enum. Since we're using section ID enum in multiple places throughout our app, that's why we put it into our types directory within our source directory, so we can use it everywhere. Just thought I'd point that out. So each of these objects has a text property and a to property. And we're going to use this when mapping. Create a box. And we're going to map our items here. So navigation items dot map. And we'll destructure so we can get our to and our text. And in each of these map functions, we'll return an anchor link. with a button inside that inherits with a size of large and full width. Actually, no full width. I lied. And then within our buttons, we will render our text. All right, what's the problem? Key, right? Got to give these a key since we're mapping them. So we can just give a key of 2. And button, what's going on? Oh, we have to import this from Material UI. Don't make inherits plural. Perfect. So now they are mapped out. So on desktop, they look great, right? But on mobile, they don't look so great. And they don't work yet, by the way. So we have some more things to do. Okay. So when we're on a mobile view, we want a hamburger icon to show up right here. So when we click it, a thing pops up where our nav items will be displayed differently, right? So the way we're gonna do this is by moving our mapped navigation items to a variable called mapped items, or whatever you like. And we'll just assign this to this. So copy and paste, and we'll take this variable and throw it here. It should display the same. Great. And so there's this nifty thing, nifty component called hidden from Material UI, where whatever you wrap inside of it, it will be hidden depending on the size of the screen. So if we pass in small down as a prop, it is hidden when the screen size is small, right? All right, so now we have nothing on mobile. So we need to make that hamburger icon. But we don't want it showing up on the desktop view. So we'll do another hidden component here and throw in an icon button with a menu icon. So import that from MUI icons material. All right, so in React JSX, you can't just have 2 components like this side by side. You got to wrap them so that only one thing gets returned from this component. So we'll wrap it in a fragment, and a fragment is just an imaginary element. So yeah, that's good now. Our menu should be here, but it's not because we have to say small up. So it's hidden on small devices, or so it's hidden on desktop or on larger devices, right? What's going on? Can you please work? Oh, it's there. It's just the incorrect color. Okay, so fix that with a color inherit. Now it should be good. There we go. Okay, so when you click this, nothing happens. So we have to implement some state into our navigation component. So go up top and do const brackets is equal to useState. Great. I have to reload. There we go. So yeah, if that ever happens, you just got to reload your VS Code. And the way I'm doing this, by the way, I don't think I showed this yet, but Control-Shift-P, this will pop up and you can type in reload window like so and click it and it'll reload the window. So in these brackets, we're going to call it open, and then set open will be our function. And we'll pass it a default value of false. Okay. Now we're going to make a dialog down here. So this is what's going to pop up when when you click on this hamburger icon and the menu is open. So we'll give a property of open, and we'll assign our open state to it. Then we will say full screen, full width. Give it some props, SX, display, flex. You know what, I'm not going to do this yet because I don't want you guys to be confused on why I'm writing all that. So then in here we can throw our mapped items. Cool. So now we have to assign our icon button an on-click, and we will create a function up here, a helper function that's going to be called on open handler. And we'll say set open to true. Then we'll make another function called on close handler, and we'll set the state to false. Alright, so now we can use this to pass it in here. And so if we click this, it's going to open. Awesome. Cool. So that's good, but we do need a way to close it. So we'll have to put another app bar up here with another icon that will close the menu. So to do that, we'll put another app bar in here and give it a position of static so that it stacks with the other elements, and give it an SX, the background of white or any color you want, and a color of text.primary. And text.primary, that's some like material UI magic. It's going to use our primary text color. Alright, and then within the app bar, we'll throw another toolbar, a typography with a variant of H5, and an SX of flex grow 1. And we'll say menu. So now if we save this, we open this up. There we go, there's our app bar. And we'll throw an icon button right here with a close icon inside of it. And we'll give this a color of inherit and an on-click, and we'll pass in our on-close handler into this on-click. If we click this, it should close. Beautiful. But as you can see, our links aren't centered. It doesn't look very good, so we're going to wrap it with a box. Give this box a display of flex, a flex direction of column, and a padding Y. Padding Y is the horizontal padding, so the top and bottom. And we'll give that 3. See? And then a padding X 2. So padding X is the vertical padding, so left and right. And then we'll give this a width of 100%. So we want to make these buttons full width, but only on mobile. So the way we're going to do that is by using this little method. We'll say use theme, and this will get us our theme variable from material UI. And we'll do const, we'll name this is small, this variable here, and this will be assigned to the return value of use media query, another material UI thing. And then we'll take theme dot breakpoints dot down small. This will be true whenever the breakpoint is smaller than small, which is something like 600 pixels, or something like that. Like so. No, I don't think we need these. So one thing we want to do is make it so this menu transitions in from the side. To do this, we'll create a transition component outside of this component. Const transition is equal to react.forwardRef, and the props will be transition props. Import that. So transition props and children. The children will be assigned to react.react elements any. And then for the second, say ref and react.ref and pass in unknown. Again, if you're not using TypeScript, you don't got to worry about this typing stuff. And then from here, we will return the slide transition. I think we have to import React. Is that good? Yep. We'll say direction left, and ref will be assigned to ref, and then dot props to destructure our props into this component. What's going on here? Syntax. Okay. So we'll take this transition component and pass it into the dialog props. So when we open this up, boom, it slides in from the left. Now, if you look closely, you can see a like, what is it? It's like a black or, yeah, it's late. I couldn't think of what it was called. It's called an overlay. You can see an overlay in the back. So to get rid of that, we'll give this dialog a prop of hide backdrop. Now it should be gone. Yep, there it goes. Cool. And we're gonna give this a paper props. We'll pass in SX and just say box shadow none. Oh, you know, I just noticed this scroll bar. I think that's due to the padding X here. Yeah, it was. Okay, get rid of that padding X. All right, so now let's do the anchor link. So we'll say href is equal to tildes and hashtag 2. Perfect, and then we'll assign an offset of 56 pixels. Our app bar is 54 pixels, or 56 on mobile, but it's 64 on desktop. Let's see. Yeah, it's 64 on desktop. Oh, you know what? I just realized. I'll touch on that in a little bit, but yeah. So we're gonna have to use our isSmall variable here to set the offset. So if isSmall, then we will give this offset 56 pixels, otherwise 64 pixels. Give these buttons an on-click listener that will close the menu, so that when you click them, the menu closes and you scroll to the section. That's pretty much it for this component here. We'll just give this box a display of flex and a gap of 2, so that on the desktop version, our links are spaced out a bit. Awesome. So as you probably noticed, the links are not colored correctly. So this will also be a good time to touch on the thing I brought up earlier and I freaked out about. Something we forgot to do, which is a CSS file in our root source, in our source directory, and we'll call it index.css. First, target everything and do margin 0, box sizing, border box. What's up? Why? Semicolon expected. Oh, I'm so used to writing inline CSS. There we go. And then scroll behavior, smooth. Okay. So that's gonna fix our page styles, I think. Oh, it's not yet. So as you can see, you see that there's margin on our HTML or on our body, which we don't want. And this will get rid of it once we import it into index.cs or index.tsx. So import / index.css, and there we go. No more margin on the body, and everything has a box sizing of border box, which is what we want. So now we're gonna fix the link issue within the same file. We're gonna make a class called all unset, and we will put all unset in here. So this will unset all of the default link styles. So let's go ahead and take this class name and put it onto our links. Go to the anchor link and throw it on here. Class name, all unset. We want this logo to be clickable, and so when you scroll down here and click on it, it'll scroll back to the top. So the way we're gonna do that is by copying this code here, href, offset, and class name, and throwing it into this anchor link. Good. We'll also need to copy the these hooks here and throw them into our main layout. So import, use media query, and use theme. And then instead of putting 2 here, you're going to import the section ID enum and do the intro section. We'll also put, let's put in a cursor pointer on this box. So cursor pointer. And this will make it so users know they can click on this logo. It'll scroll back to the top, no matter where you are on the page. If you want to make this a bit more dry so that we don't use these hooks in both of these components, dry meaning don't repeat yourself, since we render the navigation within the main layout, we could just pass in is small as a prop to navigation. So I'll show you how to do that real quick. You will do this. Let's make a type for the navigation. So we'll say export type navigation type or props, and we'll say is small, should be a boolean. Pass that right here. Destructure the props is small, and then you can get rid of this. Save that. Pass it in here. Alright, last thing we'll do, let's go to the main.tsx file and throw a divider within our section container. Sweet. That's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed and found this helpful. Leave a comment recommending what video I should do next, and subscribe to the channel for more. You can use this website for anything. Throw your own components into these sections. I'm actually creating my personal portfolio based on this code. I was building it, made this app bar, thought it was pretty damn good and simple, so I decided to make a video out of it. Anyway, guys, have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.